Alrighty guys, so today we're going to be talking about gas cans and just how much new gas cans suck. Now, if you've walked into a store recently to buy a gas can and it's been a while, you probably bought something that looks like this. Usually they're around this size. This is a 2.5 gallon size container, and it has the CARB EPA approved nozzle on it. Looks like this. You say, oh, it can't be that hard to operate. You read the front, the sticker says you twist and push. A little inconvenient, but it can't be that terrible, right? Oh, my friend. Let me show you why it sucks. But more importantly, we're going to do a proper comparison to one of, I think, the best implemented systems of the old gas cans. Because, to be fair, a lot of the old gas cans that had sort of just a hose or a nozzle sticking out with a little cap on the end, you know, they would leak because the cap wasn't airtight, and then your gas would go bad if it sat there for a while. You know, all the lighter stuff would evaporate, that sort of thing. So, of course, you can say, well, the new ones are better because they're airtight. But, of course, we all know the pouring problems that come with that. So, when I was checking out a yard sale a couple weeks ago, I managed to pick up this little gem. And this right here is a Blitz brand gas can. And Blitz actually went out of business in 2012 due to ridiculous litigation. Now, to be fair, I don't know if it's ridiculous, but it sure sounds ridiculous to me. Basically, they got sued by a bunch of people that would pour gas out of a gas can onto an open fire, and then they sued them because it exploded. Now, I mean, I'm no genius, but I would never have been in that position in the first place. But anyway, so this is a nice gas can. It's obviously smaller, but nonetheless, we're going to look at specifically the dispensing mechanism on this gas can. Now, as you can see, obviously, it has a vent, so this is a vented gas can, which means it doesn't go glug-glug like this because air can get in to displace the fuel that is removed when you pour it out. In addition, however, it is airtight despite having a vent and no gaskets on any of the caps. The caps seal via plastic compression. You know, the plastic is soft and so it compresses, and that's how it seals. But you'll notice I'm squeezing this thing. I can tip it upside down. Fuel isn't coming out. It's airtight, which means if you have fuel in here for a long time, you put some fuel stabilizer in here, it's not going to go bad. All the light stuff's not going to evaporate. But more importantly, I'll show you why this nozzle is great. First of all, you say, well, where's the nozzle? Well, in these Blitz cans, and some of you older viewers may definitely know this, the nozzle pulls out like that. And using plastic compression again, it seals at the bottom. No gaskets, no rubber to go bad, right? So you pull it tight, it's now ready to pour. And then when you're done, give it a little tap, push it back in, screw the cap back on, airtight, seal, done. And of course, close your vent cap at the back. So what we're going to do is going to do a demonstration pouring into this can. I have another Blitz can, and this one I took the top off for this. And we're going to pour into here, and pour a little bit out of the big can, the CARB approved can, and a little bit out of the Blitz can. And I want you to note how much mess each one makes, and as well how quickly each one pours. Because again, that's a factor as well. If you're working on the clock and you need to refill a weed eater or something, weed whacker or something like that, or a mower, and let's say you work as a landscaper, that's time is money. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's go ahead and do the demo. So we'll start with the CARB approved can with the modern style abomination here. Let me just check that you guys are in frame. So let's see here. All right. So what I like to do is when you're pouring again with a smaller can, if you were just to push and shove, it would just fling everywhere. So you have to basically push and hold with your hand. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, I don't know if you notice, but there's a solid stream of gas that's not going into the can and that's leaking right here. And then when you finish, of course, because you have to release this to stop it from flowing, the tip moves and I spilled a little bit on the can. And of course, when you move the can back up, more drips out of here. Now, I'm no expert, all right? But when I'm pouring into a car, I don't want to damage the paint. So I'll use a microfiber cloth or a dirty cloth or whatever I have and cup it here so that whatever fuel is leaking out doesn't go onto the paint. Well, then what do I do with this dirty gas-filled rag? I leave it outside on my porch to air out. Again, how eco-friendly is that? How much emissions did I save? Nothing. In fact, I probably put more emissions in the atmosphere. Now let's go ahead and try the Blitz can. And again, I know I'm talking about this Blitz because I really like this pull-out design, but any old-style gas can should have the same flow rate anyway. So first, you're going to take your cap off and pull your spout out and pull it tight. And then you're going to go ahead and pull your vent cap open. Get your gas can position, tilt the nozzle, and pour. And you'll notice gas is just pouring right out of here. And within just a second, no drips. I'm done. I just tilt it back, put the nozzle back, straighten it out, knock it in. Go ahead and close my cap. Pop the vent cap closed, and I've just added half a gallon to this container. And the other time, I barely, with the other container, the carb-approved container, in that same time, the level barely went down on the side of the container. It was at the 10-liter mark here. It's still at the 10-liter mark. And of course, it dripped half of that onto the carpet. So I hope you now see just how terrible these things are. And, there's a lot of solutions out there. Now, I'm not doing a video on the solutions, but there are options like the Easy Pour system. There's also just different cans, like the Spill-Proof branded cans. Of course, those are very expensive. But if you can go out to a yard sale or something like that and find yourself one of these cans, I got really lucky. This can basically had never been used. There was dirt inside. I cleaned it out, but it had never been used. If you can find yourself one of these, get it, because any kind of can that's going to have, especially, and this is my favorite setup with the pull-out spout, but any old-style can is going to be better than a modern one because it's going to pour a lot better, a lot cleaner, and a lot more conveniently. Anyway, guys, that's been my video on a comparison between the old-style cans and new terrifying abominations of engineering of the carb-approved modern ones. Yeah, there you go. That's your daily dose of government inefficiency, right?